Hi there, this is Jen, and thanks for joining me on the Potsum's Dance YouTube channel today. Today I'm making a really fun card using the Monster Party stamp set, which is a great stamp set actually for, it's got birthday sentiments in it, but it can be used for Halloween, for kids, for grown-ups, just a really nice stamp set that can be used many different ways. I'm also using a stencil called Chunky Sweater, and I'm just doing some really easy coloring. I am using my Spectrum Noirs today, mainly because I liked the colors that I had in my Spectrum Noirs to color up this little monster, which is some kind of oranges and corals. And I'm going to go ahead and run that through my scan and cut to cut out all of the images. And for the sentiment, I like to run this through my scan and cut as well. But to do that, you need to draw a line. So it's really easy to go ahead and just draw a line for the scan and cut to follow. It has to be dark enough where the machine will recognize it, but I find that it's much better when the scan and cut does it as compared to when I try and do it by hand. You'll just need to use an eraser to take off those pencil marks when you're done, but a really easy way to get those nice sentiment cutouts without having a die or fussy cutting. I'm going to go ahead and set all those pieces aside and then start on my stencil. And so I have taped down a piece of hammer mill cardstock, and I'm going to go ahead and tape down the stencil right on top of that. And I'm using some purples for my background in Catherine Pooler inks, and these are Pixie Dust is the first color I'm going to use, and I'm just going to go ahead and use that kind of in the middle. I am going to be using a die cut to cut this out, and so I don't need to do the entire panel, but I wanted to make sure that all three of these colors were going to be on this die cut. The second color I'm using is called Royal Treatment. And then around the outside, I'm going to do the darkest color, which is called Queen for a Day. And I really love this stamp set because it can be used for really any occasion. It's a great Halloween set, but it's not necessarily made for Halloween. It's got some birthday sentiments in the set. The sentiment I'm using is Monster Hug, so really that could be used for a Halloween a card or just a kind of thinking of you card. But once I have done my stencil work, I'm going to take a star die from my stash and cut out that pattern. And then I had a few little pieces of just miscellaneous die cuts that I had not used from previous projects, and so I pulled this circle die out of that, and I have just added the star kind of in the middle of that, and then I'm going to use that to kind of ground my little guy and the accessories that he has. And so I went ahead and I added some liquid glue, and then I just set a stamping block on it to make sure that is adhered to my card panel. And then I added a little bit of foam to my little orange monster, and then another die cut from my stash in black is going to go over the top where he is going to be standing. And I felt he needed a little bit of sparkly behind him, and so I'm using this piece of thread that's got a little bit of kind of sparkle to it, and I'm just wrapping that behind and adhering that to the foam. And then I'm going to add a little bit more liquid adhesive to the back of the monster to get him to adhere kind of to this little ink spot that I have adhered to the card. And then I'm going to go ahead and adhere all my other little accessories. There is a set of balloons and then some candies, and I went ahead and adhered those, and then I popped up the Monster Hugs sentiment with some foam. And I'm going to add a little bit of splatter to the background, so I've taken the Lime Ricky and put a little bit of that on a piece of plastic packaging and then spritzed it with water. And I'm just going to grab my brush and grab a little bit of that color and then splatter that over the card to give some green splatter. I love green and purple for Halloween, and this isn't necessarily a Halloween card, but it could definitely be. And then for the spots on the monster, I am using some liquid pearls in, I think it's white opal. And so I'm going to go ahead and put those over all of those little spots that I had colored in. And then also for the piece of candy, I am adding some liquid pearls as well in a pink color. And that's pretty much going to finish off this card for today. This is a really quick card. These monsters in this set are so super adorable. I hope you liked this card. If you did, I would love a thumbs up. Don't forget to go ahead and click that subscribe button to subscribe to the Possum Stamps YouTube channel. There is lots of inspiration from the design team throughout the week, and you don't want to miss that. I thank you for joining me here today, and I hope to see you next time.